Good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live with me, Mike Avery. Here once again in my home office, my home studio. Next week, though, oh boy, next week is going to be different. Mad Jack, good evening. How are you? Brian, Larry, always a pleasure, guys. Appreciate you taking time out from your Wednesday evening to join me for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Hey, Craig. I'm really looking forward to our fishing trip tomorrow. Captain JT, good evening, buddy. How are you? Craig Plowman, this guy right here, and Captain JT both volunteered their time as boat captains for the Walleye for Warriors event last Sunday on Saginaw Bay out of the Linwood Beach Marina. Uncle Johnny, how you doing, buddy? My lovely bride snuck out on me today while I was in the studio to golf with our grandkids, Johnny. And she shot the best round ever since I've known her. So she's really hitting the ball well. In fact, I think she's got me convinced to go out tomorrow night once I get back in off the water. Linda! Hello, Linda. How are you? Dave, always a pleasure. Ruben, how are things in Colorado? Hello, Steve. Thanks for joining us. Kevin's watching us out on the boat on Lake Ogemaw. I think an inland lake is where you want to be tonight, eh, Kevin? Because it would be a little bumpy on the big lake. Next week will be different. Sean was there, too. Sean Hodges was there from Lower Saginaw Charters. He was there as a boat captain, too. Linda, next week will be different because I'll be live on Saginaw Bay aboard the new Angler Quest with Brad Dupuis, Mr. Angler Quest. Weather permitting, of course. That is, if it doesn't blow like it did today, we will be out there. I'm looking forward to it. Good evening, Randy. Martin. Hey, Mike. Mike, I'm sorry we did not get a chance to talk more at the Walleye for Warriors event. You were busy. I was busy. Looks like you guys had fun, though. I think that was your first time there, Mike. Hope you had a good time. Bruce, good evening. Hello. Cliff, how are you? You're slipping, Cliff. You're not making it in as the first person now. Bruce. No, will not be in the skinny water because I'll be fishing with Brad. Brad fishes deep water with spoons and jet divers, and that's what we will be doing, I'm sure, next week. If we were out on my boat fishing with me, we would likely be in skinny water. But at this point right now on Wednesday night, I don't have a new boat yet. Supposed to be here this week. And yes, I'm getting a late start on the season, and yes, it's driving me crazy, but it is what it is. Listen, of all the things in the world to worry about, getting a new boat a little bit later than you had hoped for, that's pretty minor. If that's the only thing I have to worry about in this life, things are pretty good. Paul, good evening. Mike said he had a ball. I thought so. They upgraded the number of fish cleaned, Mike, to 2009 walleye. I'm glad I'm not one of the guys cleaning fish. Eric, good evening. Marty checking in from Scandia. So am I, JT. So am I. I talked to Brad Monday, and he said there's no reason to believe I won't have that boat this week. Now, the boat will be delivered to Linwood Beach Marina. And then I got to get a day where it's nice enough to run it across the bay over to Sunset. And then I got to put a few hours on it before I troll with it. So, and this weekend I'm tied up Saturday because Saturday is the state high school trap shoot in Mason. My grandson Carter is shooting in that event, and we are going down for that. And Sunday is Father's Day. So I don't know. I'm getting a late start, but tomorrow I'm fishing with Craig Plowman, who is on here today. Craig's just a wonderful guy, a big supporter of, honestly, everything I do. I donated a walleye fishing trip with me to his Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation dinner with him and some of his buddies on Saginaw Bay. And because I was worried about not getting the boat in time, and I think that was a justified response, justified concern, I went ahead and actually booked a trip with Lance Valentine for tomorrow morning out of Linwood Beach Marina. And it looks like we might get a little bumpy later, but it looks like early on we should be okay. So I'm looking forward to that because I love fishing with Craig. His buddies are an absolute riot. And I've never trolled with Lance Valentine before, so I think this is going to be a good deal. Are the perch biting? I doubt it very seriously. I mean, there's a few, but it's a walleye bite right now for sure. Linda, what are your preferred electronics on the new fishing machine? They can put a Lowrance or a Garmin on there. Would make no difference to me at all. I think there's actually a Garmin on there. Garrett, this guy right here, Garrett, crane operator Garrett, was nice to meet you on Sunday. Garrett works for Beerline, and if you were at the event or you saw video or pictures, you saw that great big, I don't know, crane? Crane, yeah. You saw that great big crane sticking out over the channel holding that American flag. Garrett was the guy operating that, and Garrett was so nice. Uncle Johnny, here's your guy right here. I looked at that thing and I said, Garrett, I got a great nephew and niece who live just down the shoreline who would love to see this up close. He said, tell him to come on down. I'll put him up in the cab and we'll take pictures in the cab. So those are the pictures you saw, Uncle Johnny. Garrett, that was a really stand-up thing of you to do. Very, very nice. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Thanks for sharing your hubby with us tomorrow. Brian, getting ready for walleye tournament on Friday. What is Friday? Scott Hand said the boat is coming. He's in the on-deck circle waiting for the call. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. But as I was saying, and as you know, just because the boat is at Linwood Beach doesn't mean I'm fishing with it yet. Scott Hand, while I have you, congrats to you. Congrats to George Lynch. Congrats to the folks at Linwood Beach Marina. Congrats to your volunteers, to your sponsors, everybody who made the Walleye for Warriors event a success. Scott, you were intimately involved in that. I've had several people tell me they think it's the best Walleye for Warriors yet. Out of the 13 you've had, they say this was the best. And I tend to agree. So good job, Craig. Or good job, Scott. Good evening, Craig. How are you? Gee, nice to have you along with us. Hey, Judy. Jeff. Great day today. Great weekend for Walleye for Warriors. Lots of fish. Happy smiles. You did a great job, Mike, to keep the show running. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Jeff. I just want to make it very clear. I will not take any credit at all for the event itself because I had nothing to do with it other than show up and talk for a couple of hours. That's all I did. I didn't put any work behind the scenes, so I don't want to take any credit for something I didn't do. But thank you, Jeff, for your comments. Hello, Jim. Jim, good evening. How are you? Bruce Simple has a fishing report. Michael, good evening. Autistic Outdoorsman, how you doing, buddy? Jeff. Garrett. Bill, all is great. Linda. See, this is great. And you're right, Linda. I get to fish with Sir Lancelot tomorrow and my good friend Craig. And then a week from tonight, right now, I will be on Saginaw Bay with Mr. Angler Quest. Oh, nice, Brian. Have fun. Martin, no, I will not be looking at adding the live scope, and there's a reason for it. There are several reasons for it. Number one, I will have this boat for such a short time. This boat will be turned right back around and given back to Angler Quest in a very short amount of time this year. So I'm not going to do anything to it that it didn't come with. Yes, I said that earlier, Scott. 2009 official walleye caught. There's our guy right now, Sir Lancelot. Lance, I was just saying how much I'm looking forward to fishing with you and Craig tomorrow. Craig's a great guy, good friend of mine. But you, my friend, Lance, I have fished with you on the Detroit River. But believe it or not, and you know this, Lance, I have never trolled with you before for walleye. So I'm looking forward to an on-the-water seminar. It'll be fun. Let's just hope the northeast winds stay at bay until we can get some fish in the boat. Otto, good evening, buddy. How are you? Okay, a couple of things I want to get accomplished tonight. We are going to, let me plug this, all right? The second annual Mike Avery Outdoors charity golf outing to benefit MUCC's youth camp. This is not a blanket charity fundraiser for MUCC. This is to raise money for their youth camp to get kids involved in the outdoors. We will have a full field. It is not full yet, but it's filling up fast. If you would like to join us to golf in the event or to sponsor the event in some way, there are several tiers of sponsorship. Go to mucc.org/golf to sign up. It is going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Also, tonight, I want to give away. I'm not giving it away. But the folks from the West Branch Visitors Bureau, this is their summer drive promotion. And as soon as Emil Rousseau comes on, Emil, are you there, Emil? I haven't seen you yet. Lance says lots of spoons and jets tomorrow. Lance, can't we just fish skinny water, please? Please take me up into skinny water so I'll feel at home. Actually, the jet diver and spoon program, I'm into that too. I mean, I like it. Hey, Jim, Captain Jim, how are you? Breaking in the new camper. Excellent. Have fun. Ed Bolanowski, by the way. Ed Bolanowski was also there Sunday at Walleye for Warriors, volunteering as a boat captain. My buddy Tony, fellow skinny water rat. I know, Tony. I haven't been out because I don't have the new boat yet. However, I'm fishing with Lance Valentine tomorrow. Emil is here. All right, hang tight. Linda, jet divers. I can talk more about that. Randy, I am Murray. How are you, my friend? Okay, let's do this because I know Emil wants to move on to something else. Emil Rousseau is with the West Branch Visitors Bureau as part of their summer drive promotion for the month of June. They are giving away a $50 gas card, 2 golf passes to either the Dream or the Nightmare, an overnight stay at the newly renovated Lumberjack Lodge, a restaurant gift card, and some incredible West Branch swag. Okay? You must pick them up at the West Branch Visitors Bureau in West Branch. And you have 2 minutes right now to make your comments on why you would like to win that package. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Scott Hand says, come on, get some crawlers, Lance. Mike is a crawler guy. Lance, honest to God, Lance, if I show up on your boat tomorrow and you have night crawlers, I'm serious. I will turn around and leave. I will hand you a check for Craig and those guys, and I will turn around and leave. And you know I'm serious. Michelle says, Emil, pick me, pretty, please, pretty, please. You could do a lot worse, Emil, than picking Michelle, because she's a sweetheart of a woman. And the thing about Michelle is she has to live with Craig. She has to put up with Craig. So she deserves to win some kind of thing right there. Who else would like to win? Mike Decent says, Descent. Is it, Mike, is it Decent or Descent? Anyway, Mike says, I'd love to take my wife for a very nice getaway. Congrats, you guys, on your bears, too. How cool is that? Cliff, 212 is at the Lumberjack Restaurant for a great meal. John says, you don't go up north until you hit the Lumberjack. Ed says he'd love to spend a relaxing week in the West Branch. You're going to have some tough calls tonight, Emil. One more minute on why you would want... True, it's not Lance's boat getting crawler slime dirty. It is Lance's boat. See, it's not just the crawler dirt that I hate. It's the fact that you got to troll at 0.0001 miles an hour and cover 100 feet of water in an hour period. That's what I hate. Bob Keatsman, Emil, we love the Lumberjack. Would love to golf and stay at your hotel. 30 seconds. 30 seconds on why you want to win this wonderful package from the West Branch Visitors Bureau, a new advertising partner of mine. I'm so excited to work with these folks. Great people. The West Branch Visitors Bureau Summer Drive Promotion. Jason. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Get out of Standish. Thank you. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Didn't think I had that in me. See, Ed was running crawlers at a blistering 1.5 to 1.8. He was throwing a wake with those crawlers. Lumberjack is the best. West Branch is beautiful. I can't disagree with anything you folks are saying. Chris, you walked into the middle of the buzzer at the end of a giveaway. Mike won. See, Mike, you guys are having a great springtime. You shot beautiful bears in Ontario, and now you win the West Branch Summertime giveaway. It wasn't a bad buzzer. It wasn't a record breaker, but it was not something I expected to do tonight. Mike. Congrats, Mike. So here's the deal, though, Mike. I can't send that card to you, and Emil can't send that card to you. What you have to do is get this thing all set up, decide when you want to be there, and then stop by the West Branch Visitors Bureau office and pick up that card. 12 seconds? No way. That was longer than 12 seconds. That was longer than 12 seconds. I agree with you, Randy. The worst spring ever northeast winds are a killer. Yeah. And I'm hoping that Mother Nature is not establishing a pattern now for the whole summer that she's going to blow 1 out of 3 days from the northeast, or 2 out of 3 days all summer long. I hope not. Mike, congrats, buddy. And Mike, I look forward to seeing you and the crew. 38 seconds, I'd agree with. I look forward to seeing you and the crew at the golf outing, too. Everybody's great tonight, Jim. How are you? All right, Emil Rousseau, a member of the West Branch Visitors Bureau. Thank you so very much for providing those, and congrats to Mike, who they're having a wonderful spring. It just continues. Crystal Light. Good, cold, ice-filled Crystal Light. Pretty good chance it'll be modified a little bit later. Okay. I talked about the Walleye for Warriors event. 2009 walleye cleaned and given. Notice I didn't say walleyes. Pet peeve of mine that nobody else cares about. But there is no plural for walleyes. It's walleye. It's not walleyes. It's like deer. You don't shoot deers. You shoot a deer. You don't catch walleyes. You catch walleye. The only other person who even remotely cares about that is Bruce DeShano of Offshore Tackle. He and I are the only ones who even care. Excellent. Okay, Mike Smith. Where'd he go? Mike. Mike Smith is... oh, you are? Excellent. I will be out there in the morning then, Mike. Mike Smith, Michelle says that too. Mike Smith of Offshore Account Fishing is one of my guests on the radio show this week. He joins me in the third hour to talk about casting for open water walleye on Saginaw Bay. I'm fascinated by this. I'll talk more about this. All right, Mike, I will see you out there tomorrow. I'll be out there at 7 o'clock. We're meeting Lance. And James, the James he's talking about is my son, James. 6 of us hunting. I was the only one that did not get my bear. Had a chance on a very big bear, but I messed it up. But that's hunting, Mike. You and I know this. We accept this. The fact that there were 6 of you hunting, 5 of you got animals, all 6 of you had a shot opportunity. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Michelle said that's her pet peeve as well. Little hot in Tennessee. Sending an email tomorrow about a purple heart hunt our veteran Josh was telling us about. Please do. Please do. Eyes is eyes. Eyes, but not walleyes. Walleye. Only way to say it, deer and walleye. Okay, so I'll get back to who's on the show here shortly. The State High School Trap Meet shoot is this weekend. Walleye for Warriors 2009 fish next week, Wednesday Night Live. 1 week from right now, Mother Nature allowing, I'll be live on Saginaw Bay with Mr. Angler Quest Brad Dupuy aboard his 2025 8526 Angler Quest Pro Troll. Now, the boat that I have coming is a 24-footer. This will be different for me because for the last several years I have run a 26-foot Angler Quest with a 300-horse outboard. This time, for a number of reasons, including we're kind of using my boat as a test boat. It's going to be a 24-footer with a little bit bigger tubes and a 1.25 deuce Merc on it. And we want to see how this boat will perform and how it'll perform with, say, 4 or 5 guys on it. I'm not concerned about that at all because the first several Angler Quests I ran were 24-footers with a 150 on it. So I'm sure this is going to be beautiful. Rapid River Knives. The Mike Avery Signature Edition is still in the works, okay? But nothing much has happened lately because Chris Durson of Rapid River has been in Idaho bear hunting. He's back home now, so I expect we're going to get moving on this very soon. You know what I forgot about when I was doing the radio show today? I forgot that this weekend is Father's Day. I thought it was one more week away. I thought it was a week from Sunday. So I'm getting almost through the show, and Jonathan Dent, who sits in the studio with me every other week, Charlie Root every other week, John says, hey, you haven't mentioned Father's Day at all. What's up? And I said, I'll save that for the next show. He said, if you save it till the next show, you're going to be late. I went, this Sunday is Father's Day? Yeah. So a happy early Father's Day to you, dads. Hope you have a good day. Dads, granddads, fathers, we have our own role in the family. It is significantly different than the moms. Moms have their role, dads have their role. Like it's our role to take the kids out and let them get dirty and fall on their head. It's mom's role to clean those kids up and hug them. But we all have our own role. Craig's agreeing with me. Dear walleye, only way to say it. Don't try to trick me, Linda. It's not going to work. Mike says, yes, it is. It's hunting. Scott Hand, tomorrow night is the volunteer dinner at the Bay City Elks for all volunteers, boat captains, and first mates. You're invited too. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Looks like I will be playing golf tomorrow night. Mad Jack says, happy Father's Day to all. John, who is a great source of information, in addition to the information. Okay, let me back up here. Dan Kildee was appointed as the NRC Commission Chairman by our illustrious... All I can see is red lipsticks and a leather jacket. Now, whatever title you want to put her on her is up to you. But that person who sits in Lansing for just a little bit longer in a leather jacket with bright red lipstick, appointed lifelong politician Dan Kildee as chairman of the NRC. And a lot of people weren't happy about that. Well, he served about 2 months and then he resigned. So John, who has a real good sense on what's going on there, says, in addition to the information on Kildee's reason for leaving due to time commitment and health, from everything I have read, it appears that the NRC meetings are early during the week. Why would that matter? Maybe it would get them, if we moved them, maybe more people could get involved. Possibly, but that certainly was not a reason for Kildee to leave. You would have thought he knew what he was getting himself into. I think what he found out was it wasn't just this cushy appointment that he was thinking it was going to be, and he actually had to do some work and got some heat over his decisions. That's what I think, but what do I know? Scott Hand says 5-9. Not yet, Rick. Not yet. And I'm getting a late start. I know this. I'm getting a late start. And to be honest, because I am getting a late start, it has affected my walleye mojo. Normally by this time, I would be hot and heavy into it, fishing several days a week and having a pattern and being very, quite confident and catching a fair number of fish. So I'm walking into this thing right in the middle of everything and getting things fired up in the middle of things. So I don't have the confidence going into this that I normally would. And to be honest with you, the time since I haven't been fishing, I've been playing a lot of golf and enjoying that. But I'm looking forward to getting the new Angler Quest. I'm looking forward to getting it on the water and seeing what I can accomplish in the weeks that I have her. Ed Bolanowski, Scott Hands, hats off to the folks that cleaned all those fish. Absolutely. Have you seen where Tennessee has passed $50 a year for baiting? No, Jim, I have not. But that's very, very interesting. Dan, good evening. How are you? Gotcha, John. He was thinking more about the regular sportsman. Yeah, I got you. I understand. Thank you for that. In Michigan, I understand the House has approved legislation that would allow for hunter safety in schools. It still has to get past the Senate and the governor, or whoever that lady is with the red lipstick or the leather jacket in Lansing. Linda, and this is the one that's killing me. How have the reports been from the Bay? The wind has been so fickle, I can't imagine much of a pattern. When Mother Nature will let people get on the Bay and it's not blowing 25 miles an hour from the northeast, they're killing the walleye. Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, me too. Me too. Steve's boat is also in Sunset Shores. And Steve is a very good angler. I'm sure he's been pounding the fish. I'm late to the party, Steve. I'm late to the party this year. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Jeff, good evening, Randy says it's like riding a bike. Here's the thing, and I'll be completely honest with you, on the Angler Quest. I am a good friend of Brad Dupuis, Mr. Angler Quest. I work with Angler Quest. I want and need Angler Quest to be as successful as possible. So I told Brad a long time ago, I said, your job right now is to get these boats in the hands of as many customers as you possibly can. I said, don't worry about me, Brad. You get these boats out, you sell these boats, you get a good start on this new company, and then when appropriate, get my boat to me, and I'll be completely happy. And I stand by that. You know, if when you get a new company being kicked off like this, that first year is pretty crucial. And Brad's doing very well, but I want him to do as well as possible. So I'm okay with all this. I'll just be patient. Join me on the new boat. Skinny water, no worms. It will be skinny water, no worm. Mike said, so do I just call the Visitors Bureau and talk to them and set up a time of day? Mike, if Emil, are you still on here? Can I just give Mike your number, Emil? I will find out, Mike. I will find out for you on that. I don't know the answer to it. And I'm afraid right now if I make myself a note to check on this, it's going to get lost in my stuff here. And plus, I'm going fishing tomorrow. If you wouldn't mind, Mike, I know it's a little bit of a hassle, but if you would send me another email, mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com, and just remind me to check. No, I'll make myself a note a different way. I'm going to go over here. I got you covered, Mike. West Branch Visitors Bureau. Okay. I'll find out, Mike. It won't be tonight, but I will find out. Okay. So let's talk about who's on the show this week. It's a busy show this week. My first guest is Bill Hahn of Jay's Sporting Goods. Hey, TJ, don't worry about it, man. There's a lot going on. The fact that you are here is all that matters. Bill Hahn of Jay's Sporting Goods talks about their new Jay's Blade Club. And it is an interesting concept they've come up with. I'm not going to try to explain it all, and it does not involve just Rapid River knives, although Rapid River is involved. So Bill is the buyer for the hunting department at Jay's stores. They've started this new Blade Club. Now, it is a paid club. It'll cost you $100 a year to become a member of it, but Bill, and I trust Bill, he's a good guy, said, I will guarantee you 10 times that in rewards. But it's not just discounts on knives, it's discounts on everything in the store. They're calling it the Jay's Blade Club because it started out kind of as a knife deal, but it morphed into something more. So details on that. If you go to jsportinggoods.com, and in the search bar at the top of the page, if you if you type in Blade Club, it'll take you to the link and tell you more about that. Okay, then Keel Jorgensen of Woods and Water News wraps up the first hour. In the second hour, a guy I have known for many, many years. I met him back when he was at MUCC. His name is Drew Youngdyke. And I met him when he was the marketing guy, the PR guy for MUCC. He later moved on to the National Wildlife Federation, and now he's with, I can't tell you who he's with. But as far as the company that he works with, the organization, because we talked primarily about the Michigan Outdoor Writers Association, and we talked about Drew's company called Central Lake Fly Company. Drew's an interesting guy, and he appreciates and embraces the histories and tradition of the outdoors here in Michigan, doing things the old way. I really, really like that. Ed Eiche from the DNR is up next after Drew. Ed has an update on the Michigan grayling program. Now, I only had limited time to talk with Ed. And I actually, I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit confused going into this because I thought that recently within the last 10 years, the DNR had actually stocked grayling, fingerlings or bigger, in like the Ausable and some other rivers. Now I'm thinking after talking with Ed that the most recent stocking was 20 years ago. The news now is they are putting eggs in like baskets in 3 Michigan rivers. I think the Ausable and the Manistee were 2 of them. And they're letting them imprint in those rivers, much like they did with the salmon imprinting, when they would put them in the net pens and let them imprint on an area. And they're pretty optimistic that that is going to fly. The Ask Avery question was brought about by Craig Plowman. Craig sent me this question. He says, hey, I fish with a guy who is a resident of Florida, hunts deer on a farm using crop damage permits, does not have to buy a Michigan hunting license. I think that's legal, but it doesn't seem to be right that folks from out of state, or in-state, in fact, can hunt without buying a deer or a base license. So I posed that question to Sergeant Mike Mashar from the Michigan DNR. Mike's a very good resource. He's a straight shooter. He's a real practical guy, and he's always available and accessible. He said, yes, a non-resident can shoot deer on a crop damage permit if they are listed on the owner's permit. Okay. However, he says those permits are considered shooting permits only, not hunting. There's a difference. Crop damage permits are considered shooting permits, not hunting permits. So he doesn't have to have a license. They can only use firearms. They have to abide by all regulations of the permit, such as they cannot keep antlered bucks. So it's a does-only hunt. But the DNR looks at crop damage hunting as shooting and not hunting, and that's why somebody killing deer, Michigan deer, owned by the state of Michigan, the people of Michigan, they don't have to have a hunting license because they're not hunting them, they're shooting them. Thoughts on that? Then in our third hour, Mike Smith of Offshore A Count. And I don't know why Mike says Offshore A Count, but he does, so I do. Mike is on the show to talk about casting for open water walleye. Now, Mike is a good friend of my son, James. That's how I got to know him. Mike is a young guy, good guy, great guy, great kid. Very knowledgeable, very hardworking. When James first told me that they were going out there and casting for walleye, I assumed that they were finding rock piles or boulders or gravel and then jigging off the bottom for fish over those rocks. That's not what they're doing. They're targeting suspended fish using forward-facing sonar, and they're casting to suspended fish, like out in 23 feet of water, 5 to 10 feet down. So they find a fish on their forward facing sonar and they cast to that fish. And he says, usually they catch that fish. He said those fish up high are aggressive. And as soon as the bait hits the water, you will see, according to Mike, on the electronics, the fish will turn and head toward that bait. It's a fascinating conversation. Then Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats talks about where they are today, the new stores they have, the new flavors and such. And we wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire, Dixie Dave Miner. Okay, let me go back to some of the comments here. Dave, good evening. Ralph, how are you? All right, Scott, I will look forward to it. I'll see you then. TJ, I never knew that. That's crazy. I didn't know it either. So the deer can't be eaten or given away. You know what? That is a very good question, Rick. That is a very good question that I didn't think to answer, to ask. Scott Hand, you would know this. If you take a deer on a crop damage permit, it has to be antlerless only, right? You can keep that animal, right? You're supposed to use it, right? Play on words, yeah. Ed says you really need to do that. Very fun. It sounds like a riot. And Mike has invited me out several times. I just haven't taken him up on it. JT, anybody on here want to go fishing with him Saturday evening? JT's a good guy, good fisherman. He's out of Bay City, the mouth of the Saginaw River. He will catch you fish. Anybody want to go fishing with JT? Kevin, recovering from his heart surgery, moving to Midland this weekend. Well, Kevin, I will look forward to seeing you around town. I hope the heart surgery went well. I hope your recovery is going well. It kind of rocks your world a little bit when you have something like that happen, doesn't it? Because I'll be honest, every once in a while I think about last fall for me and how things could have gone terribly different. And it gets your attention. TJ, I do believe you can keep that deer. I hope so. Bernie said I was golfing all day, almost missed you. Where did you golf, Bernie? We've been spending some time out at Sandy Ridge with that new clubhouse. Beautiful facility. That's probably where we'll golf tomorrow night. My wife Denise today played curry with the grandkids. She shot her best round ever. She's on fire this summer. Okay, what else? I recorded a Killer Food Plots podcast today, too, with Rich Krazan. Now, Rich is the guy who took over Killer Food Plots when Nick Percy, well, not right away. It took a while. Nick Percy's the guy who started Killer Food Plots. We lost Nick during COVID, believe it or not. And, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I'll come back to that. I need to respond to this first. This is true, Ed. A sandhill crane killed on a crop damage permit cannot be eaten or given away. Here's Mike. Mike says, yes, you can keep them. We get several each summer on crop damage permits and make them into tasty treats. Okay. And JT says, just to be clear, he's not looking for a paid charter. He just wants to go fishing. So on here tonight, we've got charter captain. We've got Captain JT, Mike Smith of Offshore Account, Sean Hodges of Lower Saginaw Charters, Sir Lancelot, Lance Valentine was on here earlier. I'm fishing with Lance tomorrow. So we got some good, Lake Isabella. 27 holes, Bernie. It's good to be retired, huh? Although I shouldn't say much. I have a pretty flexible schedule. And while waiting for the Angler Quest, I've been doing a fair amount of golfing. Now the Angler Quest it's imminent. Its arrival is imminent. Craig says they eat the deer they shoot. So is the difference then with sandhills? Because a deer is a recognized game species, and a sandhill crane is still technically not a game species. Is that why you can eat a whitetail that you shoot on a crop damage permit and you can't eat a sandhill you shoot on a crop damage permit? Is that why? I bet it is. Okay, one more time. This outing right here. This outing right here, Friday, July 25th at the West Branch Country Club. We are having our second annual Mike Avery Outdoors charity golf outing to benefit MUCC's youth camp. Again, this is not a fundraiser for MUCC in general, although I would have no problem with that. This is... No, they did not reopen coyote season. They did not. This is a fundraiser for MUCC's youth camp to get kids involved in the outdoors. It is Friday, July 25th at the West Branch Country Club. Security Credit Union has stepped up as a major sponsor. A lot of companies and friends have. Craig Plowman, Michigan Brand Meats. You know, these people are helping to support this event, and I appreciate it so very much. Last year, the first year, we cleared $10,000, which was, I thought, a pretty good profit for a first year. My goal this year is to clear $30,000 on this event. I know we can do it with your help. If you would like to be a part of this event, either by playing in the golf outing and or signing up to help sponsor the event, it would be greatly appreciated. If you go to the website, mucc.org/golf, that's mucc.org/golf, you can join us, just like Emil Rousseau. Now, Emil Rousseau is with the Lumberjack Restaurant and Hotel in West Branch. They are our base of operations. In fact, there will be discount packages. 30 grand. I mean, that's my goal, Linda. I'm not saying if we make 25, I wouldn't be, ecstatic. But the goal in my mind is $30,000. I know that's a very ambitious goal, but it's for a really good cause. Getting kids involved in the outdoors, I mean, that's a pretty darn good cause. So I'm glad you signed up as well, Linda, but I'm confident we can do it. No problem, Larry. Ray, good evening. How are you? I know, Mike. It stinks. Hey, Sam, how you doing, buddy? New house boy here Monday. Oh, good. Congrats to you, Sam. Congrats. What an exciting time for you and the family. That's wonderful. God's blessings to you. So mucc.org/golf, mucc.org/golf. I'd love to see you there. All right. I think that's going to take care of things. And if it does, you know how we have to do this, right?
Oh, my Avery, master of the wild, your stories and laughter keep us beguiled. Every fish that you catch, every heart you embrace brings us closer to nature's grace.
All right, my friends, next Wednesday, weather permitting, Wednesday Night Live, I will be live on Saginaw Bay aboard the new 2025 8526 Pro Troll Angler Quest QUEST with Mr. Angler Quest himself, Brad Dupuis. Have a great Father's Day weekend. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. The email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and have a good night, my friends.